The controversy surrounding Disney's live-action Snow White remake has spiraled into full-blown chaos, with branding experts and insiders warning that the backlash could spell disaster for the studio. As tensions mount, Disney executives are said to be in crisis mode, holding emergency meetings to salvage a project teetering on the edge of catastrophe. With reports indicating that the film's budget has ballooned to over $300 million, before even factoring in marketing costs, Disney could be staring down one of its biggest financial disasters in recent history. What was so wrong? Initially, Snow White was poised to be a crown jewel in Disney's live-action slate, with Rachel Zegler cast as the modern, empowered version of the iconic character. Zegler was supposed to bring new life to the beloved fairy tale, attracting both younger viewers and nostalgic fans. Instead, her casting and subsequent public comments have ignited a firestorm of criticism, and the film itself has become a lightning rod in the ongoing culture war over how far studios should go to update classic stories for contemporary audiences. Rachel Zegler's remarks about the original 1937 animated film have not helped the situation. Rather than paying homage to the timeless classic, she has openly criticized it. Calling it outdated and problematic, she's made it clear that this new Snow White will focus less on romance and more on female empowerment. It's about becoming the leader her father told her she could be, Zegler has said, essentially downplaying the traditional fairy tale elements, like the famous love story with Prince Charming. This rhetoric has rubbed many Disney fans the wrong way, making it seem as though the studio is more focused on social messaging than the enchanting magic that made the original film so beloved. Financially, the project has turned into a nightmare. The budget has reportedly swelled to over $300 million, largely due to reshoots and an over-reliance on CGI. Branding experts have labeled it a textbook example of the Dial of Destiny effect, a reference to the troubled production and financial woes of the latest Indiana Jones film. In today's era of discerning moviegoers, where audiences are increasingly selective about what they're willing to pay for in theaters, this kind of expenditure is a massive gamble, one that Disney may not be able to afford. Disney had high hopes for Snow White. The original plan was to kick off a trilogy, with sequels scheduled for 2027 and 2029. Rachel Zegler was reportedly set to earn over $20 million from these films. But with the sequels now canceled, those plans have evaporated. Insiders say Zegler is furious with Disney, feeling misled about the scope and potential of the project. Having turned down other roles to commit to Snow White, she's now looking at a string of missed opportunities, and is even considering legal action against Disney. This wouldn't be unprecedented. Actors like Scarlett Johansson and Tatiana Maslany have famously taken legal action against major studios, and Zegler might be the next to follow suit. But Zegler's frustrations are just the tip of the iceberg. Disney is facing a broader issue with its live-action strategy. The Snow White backlash isn't an isolated incident. It comes on the heels of The Little Mermaid underperforming and Strange World and Elemental flopping hard at the box office. Elemental, in particular, marked Pixar's worst opening in 28 years. Fans are increasingly frustrated, feeling that Disney has been prioritizing political and social agendas over quality storytelling. As a result, audiences are voting with their wallets, opting out of films that feel like agenda-driven rehashes rather than meaningful, heartfelt stories. One of the most contentious elements of the Snow White remake is the absence of the seven dwarves. Disney initially planned to replace them with CGI magical creatures, after Game of Thrones star Peter Dinklage criticized the original film's portrayal of dwarves, calling it outdated. But this move has sparked significant backlash from the dwarf acting community. Many actors who have built careers on roles like the Seven Dwarfs have spoken out, arguing that Disney's supposed progressive approach has only sidelined them further. Instead of creating opportunities for representation, Disney's choice has effectively erased them from the narrative. Popular YouTube commentator Critical Drinker has been particularly vocal about this issue. In a series of viral videos, he's lambasted Disney's approach, accusing the studio of virtue signaling without substance. According to Drinker, Disney's moves are more about protecting its public image than genuinely advancing representation. His biting humor and pointed critiques have resonated with an audience that's tired of seeing beloved stories mangled in the name of modernity. Disney's top brass, including CEO Bob Iger, are reportedly scrambling to contain the fallout. High-stakes meetings have been called to figure out damage control strategies, And the canceled sequels have left massive gaps in Disney's release schedule for 2027 and 2029. Filling those slots will be no easy task, and for now, the studio is in full-blown crisis management mode. Whether or not they can successfully pivot remains to be seen, but the stakes couldn't be higher. Even if Disney somehow manages to salvage Snow White, the damage to their reputation is undeniable. Projects like the live-action Hercules and Sword in the Stone remakes are also stuck in development limbo, and even planned sequels to The Lion King face an uphill battle. Critics and fans alike are questioning whether Disney has lost its storytelling magic, with many pointing out that their reliance on nostalgia-driven cash grabs is no longer the sure bet it once was. Rachel Zegler's public image has taken a significant hit as well. Instead of being celebrated as a groundbreaking new Disney princess, she's become a divisive figure. Her comments about not needing a prince and her apparent disdain for the original film have alienated fans who feel that fairy tales should remain true to their roots. The romantic elements and themes of hope and kindness are what make these stories timeless, and many believe Disney is missing the mark by trying to overhaul them for the sake of modernity. The wider implications of this backlash extend beyond just Snow White. Disney is celebrating its 100th anniversary this year, a milestone that should have been marked by joy and triumph. Instead, it's been a year filled with financial setbacks and creative controversies. The company's core audience feels increasingly alienated, and the pressure is mounting for Disney to make some serious changes. Adding insult to injury is the growing sentiment that Disney is hopelessly out of touch. The backlash isn't just about Snow White. It's a culmination of frustrations over a series of tone-deaf decisions. Fans are tired of remakes that feel like thinly veiled political statements rather than genuine tributes to beloved classics. If Disney doesn't pivot soon, the financial consequences could be severe, threatening not only individual projects but the company's overall brand. So where does this leave Disney? The future of its live-action slate is more uncertain than ever. Projects once seen as surefire hits are now liabilities, and the company faces the daunting task of winning back its disillusioned fan base. The backlash has been so fierce that some are questioning whether Disney's gamble on a woke Snow White was worth it, or if it's a sign that the studio has lost its way entirely. Rachel Zegler's future with Disney is also hanging in the balance. Once poised to be the next big Disney star, she now finds herself in a precarious position. Her outspoken comments have backfired, and she's become a lightning rod for criticism. As for Disney, the question remains. Will they continue down this path of aggressive modernization, or will they course correct to honor the legacy that made them a global powerhouse in the first place? What do you think? Is Disney's gamble on a woke Snow White remake doomed to fail, or can they find a way to salvage it? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this deep dive, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates on Hollywood's biggest dramas. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.